Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is UMS Chandra reporting on this very historic day on the 27th of February 2022. And we have a very special report for you today as the Brisbane River has just broken its bank this morning. And when we look at the high tides in Brisbane, so this morning the low tide was at 12 a.m. and high tide was at 7 a.m. and that's when the river broke its back. It's going to subside at about 1:49 and 7:18 tonight. Once again, it will peak. So these are the tide times. So with the lot of rain that's happening, there will be either the tide will play a major role when it breaks its back. And this morning, while we were keeping an eye, the river just broke its banks, and I'll bring to you some scenes of what it's like there at the river right now. This is coming from us right now. So this is where we normally go for a walk. So as you can see, it's all flooded and it's breaking its back and it's coming right onto the other side as well. So this is breaking news from Australian Indian Radio, and as we know that today, the 27th of February, these are the scenes happening right here in Brisbane River right now. And as you can see, the police patrol is happening there because there's I'll show you a top glimpse of someone who's actually parked a yacht in the middle of it. And here's the 26th of February 2022, the Brisbane River is just breaking its bank. And this is the walkway, and you can see that's all under cover, underwater now. Sent to the police, and that's why they are going there trying to take a look at what and as you can see, there's a lot of debris that's flowing down.
And the banks have just overflown, and this is very close to the Story Bridge, and you can see the walkway that leads up to the pathway that the riverside walks have all been now flooded.
So these are the extraordinary scenes coming to you live from Brisbane River, and these sorts are from the Skyline Apartments. And Holborn Street ferry terminal, it's all gone under.
Here we are at the Brisbane River, just breaking its bank.
And what you can see here is a complete jetty being washed away. A complete jetty being washed away, and it is taking the boat with it. So the boat that was parked at the jetty obviously got off, and off it goes, and it comes with the boat itself. So this is extraordinary scenes coming live to you from Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times today on the 27th day of February 2022. And there's more debris that just keeps flying past. Someone else's jetty going float. So these are some extraordinary scenes coming all the way from Brisbane River right this morning. And this is a live coverage by Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times on the 27th of February 2022 when Brisbane River broke its bank. So there are some extraordinary scenes coming to you this way, but from Australian Indian Radio this morning. So ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined in, we've just been showing all the glimpses of Brisbane River breaking its bank. As we know, many functions and events that planned for today have now been cancelled, including the focus group meeting that was going to happen at Radio 4EB. That too has now been cancelled until further notice. So, you know, if you've just missed the scene, so here's a glimpse of what we have been catching this morning. Brisbane River. And as you can see, there's lots of debris that's flying through. But of course, there's this yacht that's been parked there since last night. And this morning we saw the police coming up and probably questioning why they are there during these floods. Normally, people walk every morning, all being flooded. And there's lots of debris out and about there as well, as you can see from these photos that they're all floating around. And
here we are at the Brisbane River.
But as you can see, not walking there today, as the river breaks its banks. These are exclusive photos coming to you on Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times. And this is so you can see a jetty being washed away with a boat and a speedboat right next to it as well. So, it is amazing footage looking at the whole jetty being washed away. And you'll see there's lots of debris that's being washed away there as well. And this is another jetty which is just floating away. So there's lots of things floating right down Brisbane River at this point in time. And this is special coverage is being brought to you by Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times. Holmont Street Park and the ferry terminal there. And as I mentioned before, lots of debris in the river at this point in time. As 7 a.m. was the high tide, and that's when it broke its banks. So ladies and gentlemen, these are exclusive scenes coming to you by Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times on 27th day of February 2022 when Brisbane River broke its bank at the high tide in the morning. We know that the tide will subside by midday and another high tide is around 7 p.m. tonight. So that will be something to look out for at that point in time as well. Extraordinary scenes and exclusive footage there by Brisbane Indian Times and Australian Indian Radio on the 27th day of February 2022 when Brisbane River broke its back. So ladies and gentlemen, that's about all for me from this time. Well, let's take a look at the river right now and see what it's doing. I forgot I had this other camera set up there. So this is what the river is looking at the moment. As you can see in the background, the walkway is almost under at this point in time. Traffic is still flowing through, but many other parts of Brisbane have gone under. So the best message for everyone at this point in time is stay home, stay safe, stay dry. So the Brisbane River this morning at 7 broke its banks with the high tide, and midday is when it's low tide. It will go out again. The high tide will be at 7 p.m. so that will be something to keep an eye on, and we will bring to you some reports as things go along. So this has been a very special broadcast because this is not a scheduled broadcast, so being a special moment, so we thought we'd bring to you this live footage all the way from Brisbane, and this the scene that you're seeing from there is from the right hand side window of our studio, and that is looking onto the Story Bridge and the new farm walkway that you can see in the background. So as I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, this is a special the weather news update with the Brisbane Indian Times and Australian Indian Radio. Stay tuned for more coming your way later in the day. As the situation transgress and as things happen, we will bring to you live updates.